Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Tuesday, October 25, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Washington Wizards vs Detroit Pistons. According to Dunks and Threes, the Pistons are 20th in the sport with a 108.9 adjusted offensive rating this season, while the Wizards are currently 27th in the NBA with a 106.5 adjusted offensive rating up to this point. Passing the basketball to the open guy is critical, as that gives your team the best chance to succeed, and Detroit is tied for 8th in the NBA with 27.7 assists per game, while Washington is tied for 17th in the sport with 24 assists per game so far. This young Pistons frontcourt can be a huge thing to give them the advantage. All in all, go with the Detroit Pistons to pick up a win on the road and cover the spread in this game. Our team pick is Detroit Pistons plus 5 points. These teams are going to play a bit slower, meaning there is going to be less total possessions as Detroit is 10th in the NBA with 102.5 possessions per 48 minutes, while Washington is 23rd in the sport with 98 possessions per 48 minutes so far. Washington is last in the entire league with 16.7 free throw attempts this season as a team, so that means the clock is going to continue ticking and make things a lot harder to put the ball into the basket. The under has hit in 6 of their previous 8 games against one another, so go with the under to hit in this game as well. Our total pick is under 223 points. New Orleans Pelicans vs Dallas Mavericks. New Orleans has been an explosive offensive team in their first 3 games of the season, but this one could prove problematic for them. Dallas Luka Doncic led all scorers with 32 points to go along with 10 assists and 7 rebounds. Christian Wood contributed 25 points and 12 rebounds off the bench for the Mavericks, who dominated the Grizzlies on the glass by a 52-29 margin. With Williamson and Ingram both having left the game with the Jazz Sunday, making their respective statuses murky for this one, it's tough to have a ton of faith in the Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans acquired CJ McCollum at last season's trade deadline and enter this season as a serious contender in the Western Conference. On Sunday, Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram suffered minor injuries during a 122-121 overtime loss versus visiting Utah. The Pelicans, 2-1, outscored the Jazz 26-17 in the fourth quarter to force the extra session and shot 47% overall. New Orleans' CJ McCollum tallied a team-high 28 points on 12 for 25 from the field and dished out 12 assists. Trey Murphy III added 16 points and 9 rebounds off the bench for the Pelicans, who held a 28-13 advantage in fast break points. McCollum can't carry the load on his own for 48 minutes against a Doncic-led Maverick squad, especially one that has Wood blowing up as the 6th man in the rotation. He's piled up 50 points in 49 minutes in the opening 2 games of the season and has developed a nice chemistry with Doncic. Dallas has been dangerous on the offensive end, and with the Pelicans banged up, you have to give the upper hand to the visitors here. Our team pick is Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks have been one of the best defensive units in the NBA, as they are giving up 101.5 points per game, which is second in the sport. In their last game against the Memphis Grizzlies, they allowed 96 points on 34 of 79, 43% from the floor, 9 of 33, 27.3% from beyond the arc, and 24 trips to the charity stripe. They have been one of the toughest defenses to score against early and need to continue making things tougher if they want to continue winning games. These teams have been able to dominate on the floor this season, as according to Dunks and Threes, the Pelicans are second in adjusted offensive rating at 119.8 so far, while the Mavericks are third with a 119.7 offensive rating up to this point. The 3-point shooting has been doing extremely well this year, as well as Dallas is 6th in the NBA with a 30.9 3-point percentage thus far, while New Orleans is 10th with a 34.3 3-point percentage thus far. The defenses have not been doing too hot this season, and with the injuries factoring into the total. All in all, go with the over to hit in this game as well. Oklahoma City Thunder vs Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers came into the season as a common choice to come out of the Western Conference playoffs and into the NBA Finals for the first time in team history this season. Kawhi Leonard returned to the lineup this season, and optimism has been running high in law this year. On Sunday night, the Clippers got a stark reminder of just how difficult it will be in a stacked Western Conference when they were trounced by the Suns, 112-95 at home. Leonard returned after missing the second game of the season for maintenance purposes on his surgically repaired knee, but even his presence could not stop a Suns team that had a 15-9 advantage from the 3-PT line and had 29 assists, compared with just 16 for the Clippers. Marcus Morris Sr. led the Clippers with 22 points in the loss. Leonard chipped in with 11 points and 6 rebounds while playing just 21 minutes off the bench. A major piece of the Thunder's rebuild was lost before training camp even started when it was announced that this year's second overall pick, Chet Holmgren, would miss the entire season with a broken foot. OKC is also currently without reserve forward Jalen Williams. Holmgren's absence has left a rather large void in the paint for the Thunder, as the team was counting on the youngster to be both a rim protector and a viable scoring option for a team light on scoring. On Sunday night, the injuries kept coming as guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander sat with a hip contusion, and guard Josh Giddey missed the entire fourth quarter with an ankle sprain. Lou Dort led the Thunder with 20 points in a 116-106 home opening loss to Minnesota. The Thunder shot a dismal 9 of 41 from long range in the loss. OKC, as has been their trademark throughout this long rebuild from a team that was won in the NBA Finals several years ago, played hard throughout but were done in by a dominant Minnesota start to the fourth quarter. Much like they did at the start of the season last year, the Thunder have performed admirably despite a depleted and marginal roster. They are 2-1 at TS thus far and have battled back from multiple double-digit deficits to start the season. This one, however, could be a problem. The Clippers have not quite gotten cranked up offensively but have the best defensive field goal percentage thus far and now face a Thunder team that struggles to shoot the ball. In addition, the Clippers have yet to get going from beyond the 3-PT stripe, but OKC was terrible at defending the 3-PT shot last season and are only slightly better to start this season. LA is blessed with far too many quality catch and shoot performers not to get hot at some point. This seems like as good a time as any. Take the Clippers with the money line. The Clippers only shot 28% from the three-point line as they could not score in bunches. The Suns were efficient on offense as the Clippers could not slow them down. Phoenix shot 46% from the field. 15 total turnovers doomed the Clippers in the game as they struggled to find a flow in the offense and string together solid possessions. The Thunder shot only 22% from behind the three-point line against Minnesota. Luguentz Dort led the team in scoring as he scored 20. He scored 13 points versus Denver and 10 versus the same Timberwolves team on opening night. The under is the play in Tuesday's game, as so many key players will not be featured for Oklahoma City and Los Angeles. Shooting from three-point land has been a struggle for both teams too. Both teams shot less than 28% from the three-point line in their last game. The under is 6-1 in the Clippers' last 7 overall. The under is 4-0 in the Thunder's last 4 home games. Take the under 225.5 points on Tuesday night.